Thank you for attending the Kentucky Public Pensions Authority's Leave Balances webinar. During today's webinar, we'll have a high-level overview of how sick leave is accumulated, the different sick leave types, and how sick leave can be used to enhance your benefit or even allow you to retire earlier in some circumstances. We'll then discuss how compensatory leave, or comp time, can enhance your benefit, and we will briefly discuss annual leave. All Chapter 18A state employees participating in KERS are awarded sick leave and annual leave as a condition of their employment. Compensatory leave, or comp time, may be earned in some situations. Non-18A employees, such as those with universities or health departments within KERS, may have different leave types and accruals. They are not covered by Chapter 18A or the state personnel policies. CERS agencies also have their own personnel policies concerning leave accrual, types, and how they are used. Many of these do not impact retirement. In these instances, we advise you to contact your HR to learn more about your leave balances. Sick leave is a potential benefit that is part of the employment contract between the employing agency and the employee. Within KPPA, there are different rules that employers use to administer sick leave and how that sick leave is used at retirement to benefit the employee. The benefit tier of the member dictates if and how much sick leave can be used at retirement. The system, CERS, KERS, or SPRS, in which the employer participates can also be a determining factor on how sick leave policy is determined. At the employer level for CERS agencies, the agency policy determines how sick leave is applied at retirement, if at all. For Tier 1 members, there is no statutory maximum sick leave limit for KERS employees. All KERS employers participate in the standard sick leave plan, and 100% of the sick leave is reported to KPPA. This same standard exists for SPRS employees. CERS employers have individual policies in place that determine how much can be used, if a percentage is paid to KPPA, or if the sick leave is considered alternate or standard. You should check with your agency's HR for your employer's policy if you work for a CERS agency. Tier 1 members can use sick leave to determine retirement and health insurance eligibility, as well as increase their monthly benefit. There are two types of sick leave depending upon your employer. The first, and most common, is standard sick leave. This is used by all KERS agencies, Kentucky State Police, and the majority of the CERS agencies that do report sick leave to KPPA. In the standard sick leave plan, the hours of sick leave at termination are converted to months, and these months can be used in the retirement calculation. As this does impact retirement eligibility and the payment amount, the employer is billed for the actuarial cost of sick leave after retirement. For CERS employees, the amount of standard sick leave that is reported and when the sick leave can be used are dictated by the agency's sick leave policy. There is no uniform standard by which CERS agencies report or use sick leave balances. Some may pay a percentage of your sick leave balance to you when you retire, and the remaining balance is reported to KPPA and converted to service. Again, contact your HR if you are in CERS to obtain exact information about how your sick leave will be used to help with your retirement. A small number of CERS agencies participate in the alternate sick leave plan. In the alternate sick leave plan, the days of sick leave at retirement will have some percentage paid to the member, and the percentage paid is reported to KPPA both in dollars and in service. The money paid to the member will be put into the final compensation at the time of retirement. The additional service reported will be converted to months and added to the overall retirement formula. As a result, alternate sick leave can impact the retirement in two different ways. As you can see, there is a chart that is used to determine how many months of service you are eligible to receive based on either days or hours of reported sick leave service. For every 21 days of sick leave accrued, you receive an extra month of service. Due to rounding, the first month requires only 11 days to receive a month, so it is every 21 days after 11, 32 days, 53, 74, and so on. For Tier 1 KERS and SPRS employees, there is no maximum amount. CERS employees who are firefighters typically work a 24-hour on, 48-hour off schedule. They need to have 10 days of sick leave to receive a month of sick leave at retirement. As a result, every extra 10 days will add another month. Most agencies cap the sick leave in this situation to a total of 6 months. All state agencies and some CERS and KERS agencies report the sick leave monthly to KPPA. In these instances, the sick leave reported will be used in estimates and in member self-service. If your agency does not report sick leave to KPPA monthly, you can add it yourself in member self-service. There will be a field on the first tab of the estimator. At the time of retirement, the employer needs to certify your sick leave on Section H of the retirement application. Once we have this information, we can use it in your actual retirement calculation. If your retirement is processed without your sick leave, or it is processed with an incorrect amount, we will correct during the post-retirement audit to the correct amount, which is done after your retirement date. For Tier 1 and Tier 2 members, sick leave can be used to enhance your retirement payment by using the extra months in the retirement calculation. In the example, we will compare the calculations between a member having 6 months of standard sick leave versus having no sick leave. The final compensation and benefit factor are the same, but the service credit is 6 months or half a year greater than the other. The final compensation of $29,340 multiplied by the benefit factor of 2.2% multiplied by 27 years equals an annual basic benefit of $17,427.96 or $1,452.33 per month. By adding the 6 months of sick leave, the final compensation and benefit factors stay the same, but they are now multiplied by 27.5 years. The annual basic benefit increases to $17,750.70 or $1,479.23 per month. That is an increase of $26.90 per month. Accumulated sick leave can also be used to reduce the early retirement penalty. In the example, we see a Tier 1 member who is eligible to retire because they have more than 25 years of service. Without sick leave, they have 26 and a half years. When calculating the benefit, the final compensation of $29,340 multiplied by 2.2% multiplied by 26.5 is the annual basic benefit. However, there is an early retirement penalty included, which is 3.25% because the member is 6 months short of full retirement. Beneath that, the member uses 6 months of sick leave to eliminate the early retirement penalty. $29,340 multiplied by 2.2% multiplied by 27 years is $17,427.96, which is $878.66 more per year. Here's an example of how alternate sick leave works for a Tier 1 member. On the left side, we have the final compensation of a member before applying sick leave. The last year worked is year 1, having only 1 month of service. It is assumed the member is retiring August 1st, and these wages represent July. The final compensation amount is $57,321.32. On the right, the member has been paid for 30 days of sick leave, which represents 1 month of service. As a result of the alternate sick leave payout, 1 month of service has been added to the highest year. Additionally, the payout of $750.72 has been added to the salary of the last year. Now, we recalculate the final compensation, and the new amount is $57,795.06. In addition to the new final compensation, one additional month of service will be added to the basic benefit calculation. Most Chapter 18A state employees in KERS or SPRS are able to earn compensatory leave or comp time. Employees can accrue up to 240 hours of compensatory leave, which is defined as any time physically worked beyond the prescribed hours of duty. At the time of termination or retirement, your compensatory leave is paid to you in a lump sum. Compensatory leave does not increase service or change the retirement date. It will change the retiring member's final compensation. For Tier 1 members, any payments for compensatory leave at termination or a Block 50 are considered creditable compensation and will be included in the salaries that determine your final compensation. A Block 50 is a lump sum payment of 50 hours of compensatory leave if the member should exceed 240 hours. Compensatory leave payments upon termination are paid based on the rate of pay at termination and reported with the last month's reported salary. For Tier 1 members, KPPA uses this payment in the member's final compensation. In the example, you can see the same Tier 1 member with and without 100 hours of compensatory leave. Year 1 represents the highest salary and also the last salary for a retiring member. On the left, without any compensatory leave, the monthly salary was $3,816. When all 5 years of the high five are averaged together, the final compensation is $42,320.33. On the right side, 100 hours of compensatory leave paid out as $2,355.56 is included in the last month's salary. This increases the final compensation for this member to $42,897.20. That extra final compensation will be used in the retirement calculation and will increase the member's monthly payment. Again, the maximum amount of compensatory leave that can be used in a retirement calculation is 240 hours. We receive a lot of questions about annual time, vacation time, or PTO leave. In any instance, this is considered a fringe benefit of employment and is not used to determine retirement eligibility nor enhance your benefit. Any funds that you are paid at termination for annual time or PTO is between you and your employer and should not be reported to KPPA. Our legal notice concludes the Leave Balances webinar. This presentation, of course, is intended for general information reference only. So if you do have specific questions regarding your account, please contact us at 1-800-928-4646. On behalf of myself and the other KPPA staff, we thank you for attending today's webinar.